Neglect. A noun. The state or fact of being uncared for. Origin, early 16th century Latin. This is the best word to describe this particular creator. She doesn't neglect her fans or her upload frequency. She neglects her uploads themselves through blanket terms, surface level statements, and a general lack of research. Now, for those who aren't completely aware, this channel is called Illuminaughtii. She posted a video October 19th, 2022, specifically about Judge Judy. Now, fair remark, I personally don't like Judge Judy. I don't watch Judge Judy, and I most certainly haven't done any research on Judge Judy. But the video I'm making is not about Judge Judy. In the video, it's time for Judge Judy's day in court, and even more specifically at the timestamp 7:39 to 8:28, she makes this statement.
Considering her work in family court, shouldn't Judy understand how much environmental factors play a role in someone's development? We're not all born on equal footing with the same advantages. And while some people may be able to rise above their circumstances, I don't think it's fair to say that all victims are self-made either. Whether or not Judy intends it this way, her phrasing honestly reminds me of that PragerU video entitled, "What I Can Teach You About Racism." I talked about it in my old PragerU episode, and in that video of theirs, a PragerU host explains that systemic racism simply does not exist, because if you work hard and get educated, you'll be just fine. This toxic mindset fails to address redlining and other forms of systemic racism, as well as the classism in this country that fails to put everyone on equal ground. So in my opinion, it's just plain ignorance.
Now, for those who are not familiar with the topic she brings up in this small section, this will seem like a very apparent reality that's still active today. She tackles the issue with surface-level knowledge that I can't particularly blame her for. What I can blame her for is perpetuating false notions such as redlining still existing, with classism and other vague forms of systematic oppression, especially in America. Redlining in the modern era does not, and for damn sure it should not exist. In fact, it's been illegal for over 5 decades, since the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which came 4 years after the Civil Rights Act. Now, I have a strong belief that Illuminaughtii has not been alive since 1968. Better yet, I don't think she was old enough to understand the implication of redlining while living in that era, if she was alive. To even make a statement about redlining in the modern era is nonsensical, especially since the act of it is grounds for severe punishments such as losing your attorney's license, your real estate license, and don't quote me on this one, but I even believe you can lose your banking license. These are not small punishments either. There is a time and financial investment lost when you lose your license. You can lose your business. You can lose your brokerage. You literally lose your livelihood by not having these licenses. Now, you can try, and I mean try to make the argument that redlining persists into the modern era through loopholes. But you can only say that prior to the passage of the Community Reinvestment Act of 1977, which, might I add, is amended constantly to ensure there are no loopholes or abuses. Also, every instance where redlining could occur is heavily regulated by the government. In fact, if you or a loved one feels like you've been discriminated against, whether it be in housing or banking on the basis of your class or race, I have links to proper authorities in the descriptions. Now, not shockingly, Illuminaughtii didn't give any more examples of systematic oppression outside of classism. Now, I could speak on how flawed the statement of classism is, especially in America, but we'd be here for a lot longer than I'd personally want. I just want to highlight the lack of research that was done in making her statement that was only a minute long. Small things in videos can be nitpicks, but it's telling in the type of content she makes. She makes edutainment videos. Now, up until this point, I enjoyed watching Illuminaughtii. I'm a particular sucker for edutainment-style content. I even like commentary. I like to learn, and I like to do research. But from one clip, I learned she doesn't do her due diligence. And this is a detriment, especially for her content. I stopped hearing what she says in her videos, and I started listening. I watched more videos, and I noticed she makes a number of vague and unresearched claims, ranging from her PragerU video to her romanticizing serial killer video. Now, I'm not going to come back to the serial killer videos, but let me continue. Now, her content is not inherently bad. She has the ability to make great points in her thesis. She became popular in her MLM exposure videos, or her corporate casket videos. The message is almost always a vague representation of how the audience should feel after watching the video. And now, if you watch the video, you can't be blamed for feeling that way. But the veil is easily torn. In her PragerU video, she makes an assortment of claims. Now, I personally don't vouch for PragerU. There's some good, and there's some bad. But that's the standard with any corporation, especially in a media corporation. However, to call people homophobic, racist, or sexist without a baseline of meaningful evidence is harmful. In fact, it's not just harmful, it's disingenuous. She doesn't back her claims, she just makes a statement and brushes it to the side to further her points. As an audience, people will, actually I won't say will, they should want to be privy to the facts. But she doesn't provide them, or at least not in their entirety. She'll cite the Civil Rights Act, but she doesn't go in depth. In fact, if she would go in depth, she might see the flaws in her own statements. However, going in depth requires something very specific and very special, and it's research. In fact, the lack of research just shows the neglect she had before putting the videos out. In fact, let's talk about another video from Illuminaughtii, her Craigslist video, which is again filled with blanket statements about how Craigslist is unregulated and a haven for illegal activities. She'll show articles of attempted human trafficking. She'll make statements of animal abuse and say Craigslist did nothing to notify the police of these activities. These are grave and terrible things. She brings up the back door, which was a site that was rife with sex trafficking, as she claims. But a quick Google search will literally tell you that Craigslist has been working with the police in over 40 different states since 2013. You can actually go on to Craigslist searching for these illegal activities and not find them. Now, I've personally gone on to the website looking for these illegal items. I've come up empty-handed. I've done this for the sake of research. Now, it's possible if I look hard enough, go through all 50 states and every possible county, I'll find something illegal. But then the point would become moot. The only statement she's made that holds any water is the possibility of animal abuse and dogfighting. But looking on the website, I don't see fighting dogs. I don't see pit bulls, German shepherds, or any other stereotypically aggressive dog. I see guinea pigs, birds, and an absolute assortment of animals. Many with descriptions just asking to rehome because they can't care for their pets for one reason or another. Now, I won't make the claim there is no abuse, because sadly there's abuse everywhere in the pet trade, regardless of where you search, whether it's Petco, your local pet shop. If you look for it, you'll probably find it, and that's a sad statement. However, to say that Craigslist is rife with these issues is not genuine. How about we talk about the Craigslist lawsuit that she brings up in the video that, lo and behold, a Google search revealed Craigslist was not found liable in the sex trafficking case she talked about. There's a reason why websites like Backdoor were taken down, and there's a reason why Craigslist is still up. She makes claims like these constantly. In fact, every video I watch can be boiled down to substantial claim and insubstantial evidence. Even while writing this script through Halloween, Illuminaughtii has made even more claims that just shows her negligence. She made a very concerning statement on schizophrenia in her Slender Man video, where she says, and I quote, "People with this disorder are more prone to violent crimes." Now, this statement was made in relation to schizophrenia in the video, which she cited with a single source. Now, this isn't a simple, ooh, I made a bit of a fucky-wucky. This is a mental disorder where a person's mind literally tortures them into paranoia. A person who suffers from schizophrenia, untreated, has the same propensity for violence as a sane person who fears for their life. It is why schizophrenia needs to be treated. It's also why you shouldn't stigmatize them, and it's for damn sure why you don't make vague blanket statements with minimal to no research. Especially to an audience of over 1.5 million. If I wanted to, I could make a never-ending script about every video she's made and making. But that's not realistic. I just want her to do better. And that is all I want. Now, I'm not making a call to cancel her. This isn't a call to harass her. This is just a caution. If you watch her videos, take them with a grain of salt. Don't believe every statement she makes and educate yourself. Because as Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, with that, if you like this video, I strongly recommend watching anything from Turkey Tom or June the King. If you wish to see more information on Illuminati that I've intentionally left out, please see the description, click the links, I'll have some videos posted. Now, if you have any thoughts or opinions, maybe I left something out, maybe I didn't do my own due diligence, then leave it to me in the description. Let me know what your thoughts, if you have any commentary, and with that, you'll probably see me in the next video. I'm out.